JPN uncovers syndicate responsible for issuing over 200 fake birth certificates. Vaccination for all frontliners to be completed by end of April. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. You're watching News and 10. I'm Shuhaida Arifin. The National Registration Department JPN has uncovered a syndicate found to be responsible for falsifying at least 200 birth records in the country. JPN Director General Datuk Ruslin Jusoh said the department nabbed two men, both in their 60s, who are believed to be key members of the syndicate, which has been operating since 2009. Datuk Jusoh said the JPN's investigation and enforcement division caught a man who is a doctor at a private clinic in Putrajaya, while the other suspect, believed to be an agent of the syndicate, was caught at his home in Malacca on Monday. Explaining further, he said the syndicate will help parents to adopt a child but register them as their own biological children for a fee of between 8,000 ringgit and 20,000 ringgit. He said the doctor involved will sign a false LMO1 birth registration form, which will claim that the couple are the child's biological parents. With this discovery, Datuk Ruslin said at least 200 birth certificates with questionable records are believed to be linked to the syndicate, which operates from a maternity clinic in Petaling Jaya, Selangor. This has caused JPN to blacklist some 200 birth records due to the discovery of some discrepancies. Dato' Ruslin then urged parents of children with blacklisted birth certificates, most of whom are aged 12 to 16 years old now, to come forward to sort out the registration of their adopted children. He also advised all couples who wish to adopt children to go through the legal and proper way. At least 95% of the total 571,000 frontline workers have received the first dose of the vaccine under Phase 1 of the National COVID-19 Immunization Program PICK. Its coordinating minister, Khairi Jamaluddin, said he expects the vaccination for all of the frontliners to be completed by end of April.
Yeah, I think it's something like has received at least one dose is something like 95% already. We're just finishing it up. Bulan April. Bulan April.
The minister was speaking after visiting Dewan Tun Ali Vaccination Centre in Bukit Katil, Melaka. He added that the first day of Phase 2 PICK yesterday saw an 84% attendance rate. Phase 2 of the immunization program is targeted for those exceptionally vulnerable to COVID-19, including senior citizens, persons with disabilities, and those with chronic illnesses. Phase 3 of the program, which will inoculate the remaining adult aged 18 years and above, is set to begin in May. Malaysia's official virus tally nationwide reached 379,473 as another 2,341 new COVID-19 cases were reported as at noon today. This is the sixth consecutive day that the number of positive cases remained above the 2,000 mark. In a released statement, Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said most of the cases today were in Sarawak at 600, followed by Selangor 539 and Kelantan 429. Only 7 cases of the new infections were imported, while the rest were local transmissions. He said the Health Ministry is currently monitoring 21,268 active cases, with 249 patients are being treated in the ICU and 95 cases needing respiratory support. Meanwhile, the country's recovery rate now stands at 94% after another 1,592 people fully recovered and discharged from the hospitals. He added that the 3 people have died from the virus in the last 24 hours, taking the death toll to 1,389. The victims, 2 Malaysians and a foreigner, were aged between 65 and 75. 7 new clusters were reported, while another 7 have been declared ended today, and the total number of active clusters is 340. The Perak Health Department has launched investigations into claims that health officers purportedly slapped matriculation students with RM1,500 fine for breaching the COVID-19 Standard Operating Procedure (SOP). Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said the department has acknowledged the matter and currently investigating the case. Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham said this in his response to a Twitter post by a user which contained an image allegedly showing the incident and requested an explanation from the ministry on the matter. Several Twitter users pointed out that the move was unfair because the students have already been confined or quarantined in their college for over 5 months due to the COVID-19 pandemic. According to one of the Twitter users, health officials had visited the Perak Matriculation College in Gopeng on Sunday to investigate a case of food poisoning in a cafe there. According to her, the officers visited the cafe again yesterday and subsequently issued compound notices to the students for not wearing the masks properly. A husband and wife couple was slapped with a 1-day prison term and fined RM2,500 by Kuala Lumpur Magistrates Court for providing falsified information for interstate travel. Magistrate Wong Chai Sia made the ruling after both accused Iram Naz Hafiz Sabir Muhammad, 24, and husband Azharik Shah Abdul Jalil, 23, pleaded guilty to the charge. According to the charge, the couple was applying for a Conditional Movement Control Order (CMCO) interstate travel permit when they provided falsified information to Wangsa Maju Police Chief Assistant Superintendent Fairul Nizam Anwar. They were charged under Section 22, Subsection D of the Prevention and Control of Infectious Diseases Act 1988, Act 342 and Section 34 of the Penal Code. The couple had previously gone viral after netizens questioned how they could cross states on the basis of a honeymoon. After allegations arose that the couple had violated the interstate travel ban, they claimed that they had provided legitimate work documents to the authorities. Mahat Tahfiz Al-Quran wal Qiraat in Pulau Condong, Machang, Kelantan will be put under Enhanced Movement Control Order (EMCO) for 14 days beginning from tomorrow. Senior Minister for Security Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob in a statement said this after Health Ministry MOH discovered a surge of COVID-19 cases in the area. He explained that so far, MOH has screened 243 individuals in the area, where 97 tested positive for the virus. Following risk assessment conducted, the government agreed to impose the EMCO in the area until 4th of May. This will allow the MOH to conduct targeted screening and thus preventing further outbreak in the locality. The Tok Adis Ramadan Bazaar in Kuala Ibai, Kuala Terengganu, which was previously ordered to cease its operation, has been allowed to operate yesterday. An RTM survey conducted today discovers high level of SOP compliance among the traders and customers visiting the bazaar. As usual, customers' body temperature were recorded and they were only allowed to enter the bazaar through one entry point. The bazaar organizer also adopted a rotation system where only limited number of customers are allowed to enter the bazaar. Most of the traders and customers also expressed their hopes for everyone to continue observing the SOP so that they can continue coming to the bazaar throughout Ramadan.
Tolonglah tengok atas sikit. Ada laluan masuk tu hanya untuk masuk. Kalau nampak warna merah tu dilarang masuk, jangan masuk kat situ. Minta jasa baik sangatlah. Bantulah kami peniaga ni. Saya bukan nak menangis tapi sebab ada dengan saya sebab tolonglah kami ni. Baik kerjasama. Kita jaga kita orang kata.
Suka dah. Baik dah 2 hari boleh jual. Modal lebih banyak dah. Bayar tapuk lagi. Buat lebih modal boleh jual. Boleh jual suka dah.
Saya harap pengunjung ni ikutlah, patuhlah SOP patuh SOP yang ditetapkan lah kan. Kalau boleh budak-budak yang bawah pada 12 tahun tu jangan dibenarkan masuk lah. Itu je lah saya minta kan, minta kerjasama.
An inspector-ranked police officer was charged with 2 counts of receiving bribes amounting to 6,200 ringgit as a reward to solve several smuggling cases 2 years ago. However, the accused Kalvinderjit Singh, aged 34, pleaded not guilty after the charges were read before Judge Elizabeth Paya 1 at the Aikroh Sessions Court. On the first count, the suspect, who was working for the Narcotics Crime Investigation Division of the Jasin Police Headquarters, was accused of receiving bribe worth 5,000 ringgit from Muhammad Haddafi Mokhtar Ruzaini in return for solving a case relating to cigarette smuggling activity. The offence was allegedly committed between 11:30 p.m. and 2 a.m. on 8th and 9th March 2019. The suspect was also charged with receiving another bribe totaling 1,200 ringgit from the same person at the same time to solve a ketum leaves case. The charges were framed under Section 165 of the Penal Code. The court allowed the suspect bail at 5,000 ringgit for both charges and set 21st of May for case remention. Coming up, EPF members to continue to earn dividends up to age 100. The remains of the father of Tengku Permaisuri of Selangor, Tengku Permaisuri Nur Ashikin Abdul Rahman Baba, who passed away early this morning, was safely laid to rest at the Shah Alam Royal Mausoleum at 2:40 p.m. today. About 200 people comprising royalties, dignitaries and other citizens attended the funeral to pay their last respect to the deceased. The remains of Abdul Rahman, 89, arrived at the Royal Mausoleum at about 2 p.m. after being bathed and shrouded at the Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah Mosque. Funeral prayers were also held in the same mosque before Tengku Permaisuri Nur Ashikin escorted her late father's remains to the mausoleum together with Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah, as well as the Raja Muda of Selangor, Tengku Amir Shah. Also present at the funeral were Senior Minister and International Trade and Industry Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali, Selangor Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Amiruddin Syari and Shah Alam Acting Mayor Muhammad Rashidi Ruslan. Istana Selangor, in a posting on the Selangor Royal Office Facebook account, said that Abdul Rahman died due to old age at 3:40 a.m. today. In a related development, Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah and Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Hajah Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandariah expressed their condolences to Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah and Tengku Permaisuri Nur Ashikin following the passing of her late father. In a statement issued via Istana Negara Facebook page, the King and Queen also expressed their sadness over the passing and hoped that the family would be patient and resilient in this difficult situation. Their Majesties prayed for Abdul Rahman's soul to be blessed by Allah and placed among the righteous. The Ministry of Plantation Industries and Commodities officials are expected to meet the Belgian ambassador to Malaysia on commodity issues in early May. Minister Datuk Dr. Muhammad Khairuddin Aman Razali said the meeting is not necessarily confined to palm oil issues but could also be a platform for the ministry to discuss matters related to other national commodities including cocoa.
Duta Belgium telah memohon untuk bertemu dengan saya secara rasmi Tetapi oleh kerana waktu yang agak sempit, maka pertemuan dengan beliau akan bersekali dengan kunjungan hormat saya ke pejabat TYT Melaka, insya-Allah pada awal bulan Mei nanti, insya-Allah.
Dato Dr. Muhammad Khairuddin said what is important, both parties could discuss issues related to the Malaysia's commodities and cooperation that could be forged. On 13 April, the international media reported that biofuels made from palm oil and soybean will no longer be allowed in the Belgian market, as well as in its transport sector starting next year as part of its efforts to reduce deforestation globally. The Employees Provident Fund EPF said an old statement regarding the maximum age of 75 years for contributors to receive dividend payment is outdated and is no longer applicable. The pension fund clarified this today after a statement on the maximum age for dividend payment went viral, circulating via WhatsApp and other online platforms. Elaborating further in a statement released, EPF urged its members to be cautious of misleading or unsubstantiated information received through social media platforms and refrain from circulating them. The pension fund also advised members to always verify the source and date of the information obtained. To recap, the EPF had on 3rd November 2016 announced that effective 1st January 2017 members will continue to earn dividends for the remaining portion of their EPF savings up to age 100. This measure was introduced following the amendment of the EPF Act 1991 to ensure that members who choose to maintain a portion of their saving with the EPF after retirement will continue to benefit from the compounding effect of annual dividends until their EPF savings have been fully withdrawn. The EPF said members would be informed prior to transferring any unclaimed savings when the members reaches 100 years old. Any claim after the transfer could be made through the Register of Unclaimed Monies. The National Counselling Policy will be introduced to address the mental health issue in the community by empowering the counselling services. According to the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development (KPWKM), the move was among the matters agreed at the National Social Council meetings chaired by Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin via video conference yesterday. Commenting further on the issue in a statement released, the ministry said the meeting also raised the need for the involvement of all ministries and agencies to address mental health issue in the community as well as create social intervention measures on the matter. It also said that the level of national preparedness and strategy for the aging nation status by 2030 were also discussed, covering aspects of elderly care, finance and social protection, education and employment for senior citizens through the formulation of the Senior Citizen Action Plan. Apart from that, the meeting also discussed volunteering activities that offer vital help to the people in need, especially when the country was hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. It added that one briefing paper and 4 papers for consideration were also discussed in the meeting, namely the terms of reference in the National Social Council and the review of the National Social Policy and its direction. The discussion also touched on the Action Plan for Social Sustainability towards an Aging Nation 2030 as part of the country's preparation to be an aging nation.